All right, we're gonna dive on into lesson 9 now. It's gonna be the conics lesson. I usually do this after our practice test. We're going through answers and whatnot. This is something that came out in 2018 ACT test, and so I want to make sure we understand it. You guys have probably seen parabola and circle and ellipse before, but not hyperbola. Good news, hyperbola isn't the one that's on the test. It is the ellipse. Now, we've known circle has been on there, but ellipse is what's been new. Well, parabola and circle have been on there. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to review you how to do a circle. And this is part of your packet. So right here, the way that we find the center of a circle is we go from top to bottom and left to right. We can see right here that at right 1, down 3, right here, that's my center. 1, -3. And we can see that from the center it went out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a radius of 7. The equation for a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And you're probably thinking, Cooper, I already know all this. That's good, because we're going to use this information that we know to help us to find the ellipses. So right here, this center is my hk, and so instead of h, I'm going to write 1 squared plus y minus k, which happens to be a -3 squared, equals that radius 7 squared. So to simplify, I've got x minus 1 squared plus y minus, and then right here instead of a minus, this double negative is going to turn into a positive. And of course 7 squared is 49. So that's how they get this information right here. Okay, now the ellipse is a little different. So let's practice some more circles. We're just going to do a few of these. It's okay for you to not do all of them as long as you know what's going on. So first of all, we have to see that this is my h and my k. But again, the equation is x minus h. And so technically this must say x minus -3 and y minus -3. So I actually have -3 as my center. So right here. And then it says that we have r squared is 16. The only way to get rid of a square is to do the square root. And so r is 4. So using my marker here, if my radius is 4, it's going to be from the center, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, looking at the next one, this one says x minus 4. So this is already in my x minus h equation. So my center is straight up 4. And this has nothing, so it's almost like y minus 0. So its center is at 4, 0. So 4, 0. Remember, it's always x then y. And then once again right here I have my r squared is equal to 4. So for me to find the radius, I'm going to take the square root. My r is 2, so I'm going to go out 2 in each direction. And again, I like to show my work, so I just put those extra little dots there. Okay, if you want, you can take a moment to pause and you try these next ones. Hopefully you did. So again, we got that x minus -2, and this is already set. So it's -2, +2. So left 2, +2. And then I have that my r squared equals 16. So I'm going to take the square root to give me 4. And circle it up. Oop, bad circle. Okay, last one right here. So again, that's already set, and we have y minus -4, so it's going to be +4, -4. +4, -4. Miss Reed is my my neighbor teacher, and she says the inside always lies. So if it says negative, we want positive. If it wants positive, we want negative. The inside parentheses always lies, and that helps a lot as you're going forward, actually. So maybe that will help you remember. take the square root, and r is 1. So just a little bitty circle. Okay, I'm going to assume you guys know how to do that. So we'll just cut that and go straight into the ellipses. So you'll notice that both of these two have pretty much the same start. Notice that there's nothing with the x or the y, so we're going to start with the center of 0, 0. We're going to keep this nice and simple. Okay, but underneath the x, I can't use my marker just yet because I've got a backside, but right here, underneath my x, it says 49. So that axis, it's whatever that is squared, so that means it's going to be 7 squared. So in the x direction, here's my x-axis, in the x direction, I'm going to go 7 to the left, 7 to the right. Underneath the y-axis is 4, which is 2 squared. So I'm going to go up 2 and down 2. There's my ellipse. This one's very similar, except for in the x direction, it's 2 squared. And in the y direction, 49 is 7 squared. Sorry, from a center of 0, because there's nothing with the x or y. So look, it's the exact same thing, it's just turned a different way, and we can tell by what it's under. Underneath the x we went 7, underneath the y we went 2. Underneath the x we went 2, underneath the y we went 7. So let's get into the ones just a little bit more difficult, and then we're going to get down to the ones that are on the ACT. Okay, so I'm going to use some information here. Let's see again, we don't have anything with x or y, so we're still at 0, 0. I'm going to try and use some color now. So underneath the x we see 36, which means that it's 6 squared. So 6 and negative 6. And then right here underneath the y, we know that's 2 squared. And that's our ellipse. But what happens if there's nothing there's nothing there? Well, we would put it over 1. And so we know that 1 squared is 1. So in the x direction, I'd go 1 to each side. In the y direction, I would go 7. Very skinny. Okay. So how does this connect to the circle? Why did Ms. Cooper start me with this circle? Because of this guy. So again, we got this over 1. But we know that if the inside lies, right? So if that's a positive 1, we know our center is at negative 1. And if that's a negative 2, it's at positive 2. So my center is at left 1, up 2. Because again, it's always XY, even though it's HK. You know, okay, here we go. So underneath the X, again, we've got that 1 squared. So 1 to the left and 1 to the right. And underneath the y, I would have 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. So from here, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice it's not around the center. I'm going to have to actually count away from that center. This one's pretty much set up. Do you want to try it first? If so, you should pause it. If not, here we go. If we got a positive, so it's negative. There's nothing with the y, so it's 0. Left to 0, there's my center. What did you say was underneath the x? I hope you said 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then underneath the y is 9, so we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Make this a little bit better. That's almost circular. It's kind of ovalish. But that, my friend, is called an ellipse. It's ellipse, 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 it's ellipse, ellipse, ellipse. Okay, going down to the last 2 here. I strongly suggest you try them yourself and then check your work. Either way, here I go. And then underneath the x, we would go 3 in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Underneath the y, we would go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's my ellipse. Last one, nothing there, so that's 0, 0. We love zeros because now we don't have to really work hard. We can just go, 4 each direction and 7 in each direction, and we're done. That was my mini conics lesson.